We are doing a 7-round Detroit Lions mock draft here for Lions Nation Unite. We're going to have trades in this mock draft. I want to do a realistic mock draft. Not what I would do, but what I think the Lions are going to do. They are two different scenarios, folks. What I would do is different to what I think the Detroit Lions are going to do. So just keep that in mind. This is from what I have heard, from what I feel occurred in the NFL Combine, our needs, all put together, what I think the Detroit Lions are going to do. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of the Detroit Lions, you like to hear it from a fan perspective, as well as a former player perspective, you need to subscribe to Lions Nation Unite. We're almost to 6,500. We're just a couple away, so smash that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's get into this. Again, I'm going to talk about, because I'm not in control of the first 5 picks. I'm only in control of the Detroit Lions on this simulator. I don't know how the simulator is going to play out, but it's probably not going to be to what actually happened. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on the first 5 picks and give you kind of realistic of what's going to occur here. So we're going to do 7-round mock draft, Detroit Lions. We'll get into this. We're just going to start the draft. I don't know what they're going to pick. So let's see here. Will Anderson goes to the Chicago Bears. I do believe Chicago trades out of this pick. But if they say they trade with the Houston Texans, it'd still be the 2 players taken off the board. Bryce Young would go 1, and then probably Will Anderson 2, so that's fine. This is actually realistic. This is an absolute realistic mock draft. Tyree Wilson is actually rumored to be the target for the Arizona Cardinals. 100% he is. If that occurs, Will Anderson or Jalen Carter will fall. I do think this is realistic. Colts do like Will Levis. Will they go Anthony Richardson or C.J. Stroud? Probably. I think C.J. Stroud is better than Will Levis, so maybe they go C.J. Stroud. And Jalen Carter could go to the Seattle Seahawks. It is very possible. So in this scenario, you have 2 quarterbacks left. I don't believe 2, but I do believe 1 quarterback will be left, and that gives ample opportunity to trade down. So if this is the situation, the Lions have a great opportunity to trade down. And I think the Carolina Panthers is the team. This is the team that I've been talking about for some time. The Lions get 2nd-round pick and 114. I think that's a pretty good trade. So the Lions fall all the way down. If this occurs, I do think the Detroit Lions take Christian Gonzalez. He is my CB1. I think it'd be between him or Calijah Kancey. I'm going to go ahead and go Christian Gonzalez. He had a fantastic NFL Combine. The Lions did phenomenal work regarding who's going to be CB 1, 2, and 3. And after the Combine, I think it's pretty clear that Christian Gonzalez is CB 1. I think that'd be a good option for them at pick 9. Now, you could go interior defensive line at 9, Calijah Kancey, or you can wait. But in this case, I went cornerback. Calijah Kancey is sitting here. I think, realistically, folks, they could go Bijan Robinson here. I really do. But in this case, if he falls, how can you pass up on Calijah Kancey? He's very similar to Aaron Donald, size, stature, everything at the Combine. We need help in the interior defensive line. It makes a lot of sense. And I think cornerback and DT is one of the 2 biggest needs for the football team. If Calijah Kancey's not here, I think they go Bijan Robinson. I do. But he's here. But remember, we picked up some more draft picks. So I'm going to do this. Vikings are on the clock. If I am the Detroit Lions, I have a feeling they will trade back up in the 1st round because you got extra draft picks. So we'll try to see if we trade up with them, give them pick 39 and 81. So we move back up into the draft, giving up a 2nd-round pick and pick 81, see if they take it. They declined it. So let's try 55 here. Say we move back up in round 1. Then you're going to get Bijan Robinson. Makes a lot of sense for the Lions. And you say, Mike, it's crazy that they take a running back. I don't think it's crazy at all. We still have not signed Jamal Williams. I do think they do sign him. We all don't believe DeAndre Swift is going to be here after this year. And Brad Holmes has shown an ability to trade up in the draft. You have second-round draft picks. Why not do it? Trade up. You got a premium running back now. This offense is scary good at this point. And I think Brad Holmes has made it really clear they will draft offense. And we've seen with Jameson Williams, they like speed. This could happen. So Lions are back in the clock at 48. We only have one second-round pick because we traded up with the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know exactly who's left at linebacker. I do think linebacker is a big need. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Doesn't it feel like Jack Campbell is a Detroit Lion? Doesn't he feel like it? I think there's a combination of a Henley and Jack Campbell. I think Jack Campbell's the guy. I think the Lions take Jack Campbell in round 2. Be it great for the Lions to get someone that is in the middle of this defense and helping this football team out. Hendon Hooker's off the board. There's been a lot of rumors about Hendon Hooker going to the Detroit Lions. In this case, he fell off the board. They could take him with the second-round pick. They absolutely could. Pick 55. But in this case, when you traded up to get Bijan Robinson, you gave up that draft pick. So we'll take a quarterback later in the draft. We will take a quarterback, but we're going to take one later. They could definitely go safety here. Interior offensive line is a backup role. They could even go cornerback. I know we went corner early, but that's how bad the cornerback position is. They can go edge for sure. I don't know if they'll go edge later on. Feels like they could go safety or another cornerback. I think that is probably realistic right here. We do have Will Harris. I don't think he's coming back. Amani Warrior is not coming back. We had a bad position. I'm going to go Eli Ricks from Alabama. Get another cornerback in this draft. Double up on it. Makes a lot of sense if you ask me. Again, they could go interior offensive line, potentially safety here. But with the rumors of Lions signing John Johnson in free agency, I think that would probably push safety position back in the draft. Where if you want to get one, you can get a developmental guy for the Lions. Again, I think interior offensive line, we picked up the 4th-round pick with the trade back. I think interior offensive line is something they can do. Maybe they wait a little bit. Again, we don't need a starter. Big V looks to be coming back. I think that they go ahead and take one at some point. We're probably starting here, in all honesty, at round 4, if they were to get a round 4 pick, or late 3. That's what you're looking at, interior offensive line position. I don't know if they'll go edge here. I really don't. Even though there's some good edges on the board, I'm not 100% sure they would do that. They may go wide receiver. That is very, very possible here. And we need to get a guy who would replace DJ Chark's size and stature, someone to develop. I think that if, say, a Michael Wilson is here, they could look to draft him. 6'2", good at contested catches, play on the outside. You don't need to start him right away. Developmental guy, replaces Chark. Now we got the 5th pick. This is kind of where I'm looking at for quarterback. It's probably round 5, round 6. I don't even know who's available at the quarterback position. I have an idea who I'm kind of looking at. DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, is definitely someone I would look at. I could wait on him. Clayton Tunes, another the Lions could look at. I don't think the Aiden O'Connell or Stetson Bennett is an option, in all honesty. Max Duggan, I think his combine really hurt him. I don't think he performed well. So maybe they wait a little bit. But I do think DTR moved up. You know, before it was more of, is he an undrafted rookie? I don't think that's the case. Or a 7th round pick. I think he's more of a 5th/6th round pick. I think that's how it is here. They could go edge at this point. If Carl Brooks is here, they can add to the depth of the defensive line. We'll go ahead and just draft him here and then wait on a quarterback in round 6. So we addressed a lot of the positions here. Here, I'm going to go ahead and go quarterback, and I'm going to go DTR. I think he's absolutely moving up after the NFL Combine. Someone you can develop and sit behind quarterback 2, whoever that's going to be in free agency, and Jared Goff. You can just sit there and develop him. You don't need to worry about it. At this point, you're just looking for BPA, pretty much any position. Again, offensive line makes a ton of sense here. Who can play both sides next to Tommy Kramer. So we'll go Juice Scruggs. Beef up the offensive line. I don't know what the grade's going to be on this. We'll see. But I think this is possible. I think the players that I got here, at least in the first 3 rounds, is very possible. Grade my draft in the comments below. Just go ahead and grade it. But Christian Gonzalez, Calijah Kancey, Lions trade up for Bijan Robinson. They didn't like my trade up. Oh, well. Jack Campbell, I love the pick here. Eli Ricks, you pair him up with Christian Gonzalez. The secondary is much improved. Wilson, you're getting yourself a bigger wide receiver. Throw him on, as a number 5. You're getting your edge rusher, Carl Brooks, here to beef up the rotation. They didn't like my Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I don't care. He moved up in the draft after the NFL Combine. Getting a offensive lineman overall draft grade, A-. So let me know what your draft grade is on this in the comments below. With that said, folks, adios.